If you've ever ordered a salad and thought, wow, that's spicy for a leaf, chances are you're eating either arugula or watercress. At first glance, they seem like culinary cousins, both green, leafy, and unapologetically peppery. But behind that similar bite are two very different plants with wildly different histories, growing habits, and personalities. One prefers dry soil and ancient Roman kitchens. The other thrives in flowing water and medieval medicine cabinets. Today, we're digging into the surprisingly rich story of arugula versus watercress, where they came from, why they taste the way they do, and how they ended up side by side on modern plates. Right here, on History of Simple Things. Arugula, also known as rocket, has been around for a very long time, long enough to be eaten by the ancient Romans, who didn't just see it as a salad green, but as something far more exciting. To them, arugula was bold, spicy, and even a little scandalous. It was associated with vitality and desire, which is one reason monasteries later avoided growing it altogether. Arugula thrives in dry, rocky soil and warm climates, making it a natural fit for the Mediterranean region. It grows quickly, doesn't demand much care, and almost seems proud of its sharp, mustard-like bite. Unlike mild lettuces that try to blend in, arugula announces itself immediately. That assertive flavor comes from natural compounds called glucosinolates, which break down into spicy, sulfur-like notes when chewed. It's basically a leafy wake-up call, which is why arugula stayed popular in rustic cuisines long before it became a modern salad staple. Watercress, on the other hand, lives a completely different life. Instead of dry soil and sunshine, it grows best in cool, flowing water, streams, springs, and shallow rivers. This alone made it special in ancient times because not every place could grow it easily. Watercress has been eaten for thousands of years as well, but its reputation leaned more toward medicine than indulgence. Ancient Greeks, Persians, and later Europeans believed watercress was a health powerhouse, and they weren't entirely wrong. It's packed with vitamins and minerals, which is probably why it became a staple food for soldiers, laborers, and even sailors. During the Industrial Revolution, watercress sellers were a common sight in cities, offering cheap, nutrient-rich bunches to workers who needed strength more than fancy flavor. Its peppery taste is cleaner and greener than arugula's, with a freshness that feels almost sharp, like biting into cold spring water. One of the strangest things about both arugula and watercress is that they taste spicy without containing any actual chili heat. The sensation comes from the same chemical family responsible for mustard, wasabi, and horseradish. These compounds evolved as a defense mechanism, discouraging insects and animals from eating the plants. Humans, of course, ignored the warning and decided it tasted great. Arugula's spice hits quickly and fades fast, leaving a slightly nutty aftertaste. Watercress builds more slowly and lingers longer, with a crisp, almost metallic edge. This difference is why arugula pairs well with rich foods like cheese and cured meats, while watercress shines in soups, sandwiches, and simple preparations where its freshness can stand alone. For most of history, these greens were regional foods, eaten close to where they were grown. Arugula stayed common in Italy and surrounding areas, while watercress remained tied to places with clean running water. It wasn't until modern farming and transportation that both became global ingredients. Arugula, in particular, experienced a major comeback in the late 20th century. when chefs started looking for bold flavors that broke away from bland iceberg lettuce. Suddenly, arugula was everywhere, on pizzas and pastas and piled high in salads. Watercress followed a quieter path, maintaining its reputation as a serious green, often associated with health-conscious eating rather than trendy cuisine. Even today, arugula feels fashionable and expressive, while watercress feels practical and quietly confident. Botanically speaking, arugula and watercress are distant relatives, both belonging to the mustard family. But personality-wise, they couldn't be more different. Arugula is dramatic. It wilts quickly, bolts fast in heat, and demands attention with every bite. Watercress is steady and resilient, growing patiently in flowing water and offering consistent flavor. One is the extrovert of the salad bowl, the other the reliable friend who doesn't need to shout. This contrast is why comparing them isn't really about choosing a winner. It's about understanding what each one brings to the table. When you really step back and look at arugula and watercress, what's fascinating isn't just how they taste, but how differently they arrived on our plates. Arugula grew up in sun-baked Mediterranean soil, embraced for its boldness, and even feared for its intensity, while watercress followed cool streams and springs, valued for strength, nourishment, and quiet reliability. Their peppery bite may feel similar, but their stories reflect two very different relationships between people and plants, one driven by flavor and indulgence, the other by survival and health. In the end, arugula versus watercress isn't a competition at all. It's a reminder that even the simplest ingredients carry centuries of history, shaped by geography, culture, and human curiosity. The next time one of these greens sneaks onto your sandwich or salad, you're not just tasting a leaf, you're tasting an ancient experiment in what grows where, why we eat it, and how everyday foods quietly connect us to the past. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.